And the latest generation of console gaming, it's not uncommon that a lot of people are using these devices as their main multimedia units. And what I mean is, I've seen people and been in houses where people use their Xboxes, for example, for not just gaming, but they use it for YouTube, they use it for Netflix, and even use it for web browsing. And so to me, it makes a lot of sense that as this adoption of game consoles as all-in-one multimedia stations continues to grow and occur in people's households, that you'd have devices that are catered towards allowing people flexibility from the comfort of their couches. And what I mean by that is, by allowing them to use devices that make navigating these applications easier, like a chat pad or a keyboard. And it seems really odd to me that in the Xbox Series generation, Microsoft has actually completely discontinued the Chatpad device that was on both the 360 and Xbox One devices. And in this video, I'm going to go over why I think this was a great peripheral and why it's still a great peripheral that I commonly use on my Series devices, but why I also think that Microsoft should be bringing this back. So let's take a look. The Chatpad originally came out on the 360, and they made a new version for the Xbox One that came out, I believe, in 2015. And this was a device that I'd used obsessively on the 360 era, especially because at that time, using things like MSN Messenger were a lot more commonplace, and it was a lot easier to use a typing or a hand keyboard than trying to type in manually with your controller. And when the 360 kind of died out and I went onto the Xbox One, I had found that I was using the chat pad for more than just communicating via programs like MSN Messenger, but was also using it to go and type in different search items, as well as even inputting codes to redeem and things like that. And especially when the Xbox One came out and it had a lot more features and a lot more applications than the Xbox 360 did, the chat pad made a lot of sense for me. However, in some cases, I found that I had a hit and miss use for it, but more often than not, I enjoyed using it for just streamlined features like searching a game title or sending a quick message to someone, or even just using it to navigate an application like Netflix and searching a movie. And I found that this chat pad was still quite intuitive. And when the Series consoles came out, I obviously didn't really seek out any more chat pads because this was compatible with the latest controllers. But it came to my attention not too long ago that this device is actually completely discontinued. And Microsoft no longer creates or supports these devices. And unless you bought one in the Xbox One era, you're probably not going to find an official Microsoft branded one anytime soon, which is, in my opinion, a big shame, because this type of accessory is something that makes more sense now, in my opinion, than it did back in 2015. And what I mean by that is you have a lot more people adopting their gaming consoles as all-in-one devices. I have friends, for example, who frequently use their gaming consoles to do web browsing features or search up things on YouTube. And I myself find it very unintuitive trying to do that with a controller and typing with a controller, and having the ability to use a hand keyboard in my controller makes it, in my opinion, that much more streamlined and that much more easy to navigate common features on my console. And I think that Microsoft, in my opinion, is really missing the boat by not pushing a device like this or bringing a new device like this out and pushing it further for the common gamer who also is going to be using their Xbox for other things than just gaming. Even standard things like searching on Game Pass seem so much nicer when I have this chat pad in versus trying to use the atrocious on-screen keyboard. And I know I'm not alone in this sentiment, as I've even looked up on Reddit and people claim, why isn't there something like this on the Xbox consoles? Why isn't this more commonplace? And in my opinion, it would be nice to see Microsoft make an updated version of this for the current generation of consoles or whatever future devices that they do bring out, as I think it's something that makes the usability of their consoles just that much better.